Hello everybody and welcome back to Romania Sport. So if you're planning to do a trip in Romania to ride our mountains or to ride through our cities and villages, or just planning to do a trip with your family and friends for camping and traveling, then you might find very interesting information here in this video. Please don't forget to check out the time codes that I've inserted in the description, so you get to the information that you need faster. Stay with me. Romania is a Southeast Europe country, which has the neighbors like Hungary to the west. To the north we have Ukraine. To the east we have Moldova and Ukraine and the Black Sea. And to the south we have the Bulgaria. We have a population of about 20 million people, and the capital is Bucharest or Bucharest. In terms of nature, you can find here anything from mountains up high to 2,544 meters, rivers, lakes. We have the Danube River crossing to the south of our country, to all the south of our country, and which flows into the sea, and we have the exit to the Black Sea. At the Black Sea you can find 245 kilometers of beach, but the most visited part of these 245 kilometers is 82 kilometers with stations right next to the beach, which are really nice, really beautiful, and you should visit them. The official language spoken here is Romanian, but nowadays more and more people, especially the young people, are speaking English, French, Italian. Some of them are speaking even German in Transylvania or in Ardeal. And there is a minority of Hungarian people here. So you can find all of these languages, you just have to ask the right person. In order to enter our country, if you're coming from a European Union country, you just need your ID and the documents for the motorcycle and a valid driver's license. If you're coming from outside the European Union, you just need the passport and the visa, if it is the case in your country. Please, nowadays, be sure to check the situation with COVID in your country, in relation with your country, because you might have to do some quarantine if you're coming from a red or from an orange zone. Now I would like to speak about money and shopping here in Romania. So our official currency is lei, or Romanian RON. If you're doing motorcycle travel to Romania and you're planning also to alternate between camping and staying at a hotel or a pension, you need to have cash. Not always you can find the possibility to pay with a credit card. So for this reason, I suggest that you should have some cash with you. In my opinion, 100-150 RON or lei per day should be enough. That's the equivalent of around 30 euros. So if you're planning a 7-day trip here in Romania, 210-250 euros will be more than enough. With this money you can shop for food, you can shop for small gifts, and in some part of Romania, almost all of the Romania, the prices for accommodation vary between 80 RON to 150-200 RON per person, or there is one double room. In order to change your money, I recommend you to go to the bank. So here in Romania are operating a lot of banks, but I prefer to mention some of them because they are big banks and very serious, and you will not have any problems. So we are speaking about ING, we are speaking about BRD, we are speaking about BCR, Unicredit, Banca Transilvania, Raiffeisen Bank, Garanti Bank. These are, let's say, 7 major banks that are operating here in Romania. Of course there are more, but if you encounter one of these, go inside, change your money, is not a problem. For sure you can use also your credit card. In order to use your credit card, you have to shop in medium to large stores. For example, if you need food or groceries, or if you need to buy something to drink, you can go to Carrefour, you can go to Lidl, Penny Market, Profi. These are, let's say, Kaufland, for example, another big one. These are big retailers. You can find anything that you want there in relation with food. But also you can find some of the small businesses that you may encounter traveling the country, that they are utilizing the POS, so you can pay with the credit card there. You just have to ask, do you have a POS or not? I also encourage you to go to small businesses. They usually have fresh food there. They have fresh bread. They have good water, and also it helps the local economy to grow a little bit. And also, if you need groceries, especially vegetables or meat, you should ask for the market, the local market. You should ask for piață. There you can find very fresh vegetables, fish, meat, chicken, pork, beef, anything that you need. Very fresh, very nice, and very, very cheap. For sure you will like to go to one of our markets. When traveling, of course, we need gas. The gas you can find here in some major gas stations. I would like to point some to you, the one that I use a lot and never had any problems with the type of gas that I bought from them. Number one being OMV, then Rompetrol, Petrom. These are three major gas companies that are operating here. Of course, you can find also Gazprom. There are a lot of other big or small companies, but the first three that I mentioned never created any problem for me. If you do need something to buy for your motorcycle, or if you need to buy a gear, or something is broken from your gear, in the jacket or the helmet or something, and you need something very, very fast, I would like to mention some of the motorcycle companies that are operating here in Romania. Very nice companies. You can find them online. You just have to Google for these names. I would like to mention Moto Gear, Moto Discount, Motor Team, Moto 24, Unimotors, Akimoto. Of course, there are a lot of others, but with these I worked a lot. They have good prices. They have very, very good quality gear, anything that you can find on the European market. So just Google them, search them on the internet, and for sure give them a call, give them an email. They are all speaking English. For sure they will help you if you need. If you have some mechanical problems, or if you have a flat tire, what can you do? So if you have a flat tire here in Romania, you either change it yourself, or if you need a more, let's say, professional way to solve the problem, you can search or you can ask for vulcanizare. This is a specialized shop that is repairing only flat tires for cars, for motorcycles. So ask somebody for vulcanizare, and they will point you to the right direction. For the mechanical problems that you might have, I would suggest to ask for service, Moto service. Of course, one of the best way to let the community know that you have problems here in Romania is the Facebook groups. You can search for motociclism.ro. There you just explain your problem, and for sure somebody from the group will help you. Motociclism.ro is a group that have members from all around the country. You know very well that the motorcycle community is a very tight one. It's a very friendly one. For sure somebody will help you. So don't be afraid to search for a Facebook group, for motorcycle Facebook groups in Romania, and you will be just fine. If you have any other type of problems, health problems, the emergency number that you can use is the same like in all over Europe, 112. We have state-owned hospitals, or also private hospitals. You just have to ask for the first responders to guide you or to take you to wherever you want, to the state or to the private hospitals. The first responders is a service called SMURD. They are very, very professional. you will be taken care of in case of an emergency. The best time to visit Romania. The best time to visit Romania is between May and late October. Between these months, of course, the temperatures are very nice, but you have to consider that if you're coming beginning of this period, May, June, or end of this period, September, October, at the mountain, at the high altitudes, temperatures during the night drop, let's say, to around 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, during the day, they will rise to 19, 20, 22 degrees, even more. So let's speak about the accommodation and camping in Romania. In order to camp here in Romania, the law allows you to camp anywhere you want, unless it's stated otherwise with a sign that is a private property, that you should not camp. But usually, wherever you can find or see a very nice spot to camp, just do it. It's not a problem, even if most of the land is privately owned. One, if it is remote, the owner rarely comes there, but if he comes, it will not be any problem for you or for them. The only rule that you need to take care of here is to leave no trace behind. Just like everywhere else in the world, you need to protect the nature. We have the obligation to leave everything clean and to leave no footprint of our presence there. Of course, if you do not want to camp anymore, or you just need some days to wash your clothes, to charge your batteries, or anything else, you need to go to a hotel or to a pension. I recommend to you the Romanian pensions. It is called pensiune. They are very, very nice. They are cheap. Food is absolutely fabulous, and most of them you can find them on booking.com. So no matter where you are in Romania, you just open booking.com. The app will trace your location and will suggest to you the pensions near that location. One of the best way to stay and to interact with the locals here in Romania is to stay or to sleep at their houses. For this, it is good to have a Romanian guy with you, or a lady that speaks Romanian, because most of the interesting places to sleep in, for example, in Maramureș or in Bucovina, in Moldova, in Transylvania, people are not, especially the old people, are not speaking English, and it would be the best way to have somebody speaking Romanian for you and ask them if they want to receive you in their houses. But if they do, you will have an unforgettable experience. They are very warm, open-hearted people, very hospitable, and you will never forget the time spent with them. So let's speak about riding the Carpathians. Here in Romania we have some trails that are included in the Trans-European Trail. You know, the system of trails that connects all the Europe. We have approximately 2096 kilometers included in the TET, but there are many thousands of kilometers that are not included in the TET. For this, for the riding the TET or near the TET, the rules are very simple. You can ride, you are allowed to ride, except the national parks, or except if it is stated otherwise with a plate that you're not allowed to ride in that area. But you usually you don't find these types of plates so often, and even in the national parks there are some trails that you can take to cross the park from one side of the mountain to the other. Of course, if you are riding in Romania and you are camping in the mountains, we need to speak about the wildlife. We have a very rich and healthy population of bears, so be very careful where you put your tent. Just follow the rules, you know, the camping triangle with the location of your sleep, location of your food, and location where you eat. Just respect this rule. You know, the common sense, the rules that everybody knows about, how to clean your dishes, how to leave the food in bags, and everything will be just fine. Usually they don't attack people, but accident did happen. Not with a motorcycle enthusiast who went on the mountains, but the bear coming down into the winter coming down into the villages and attacking people or livestock. We have also wolves, we have foxes, squirrels, rabbits. We have all sorts of wildlife here. The diversity is high. I never had problems with wildlife because I always respected these rules, but I recommend to you to take also the bear spray and to just enjoy the nature, and you'll be just fine. Let's discuss also about the dogs. If you're gonna ride into the mountains, you will find many herds of sheep or goats, and for sure those herds will have dogs with them, minimum 2. They are huge dogs, very aggressive, and the rule with them is very simple. Do not stop the motorcycle, do not accelerate, just go at your own pace. They will come at you, they will come to bark at your spinning wheel, but they will not attack you, they will not bite your foot. Please don't do this. Don't kick them with the foot, because for sure they will take you down off your motorcycle, and then it could be very tricky. Just very easy, go past through them, let them bark at you. At some point they will be bored, they will come back, and everything will be fine. I was mentioning earlier that we have an access to the Black Sea. For sure, visiting the Black Sea by motorcycle is absolutely fabulous. You can search for hotels on Booking, or even you can go directly there and ask. You see people with a set of key in the hand. That means that they have to offer you the accommodation. They have free accommodation for you. It's a nice seaside. The Black Sea is very nice. But the most spectacular one is the delta of the Danube. There is a wonder of nature. It's included in the UNESCO Patrimonium. You can do some of the Delta Danube by motorcycle, but you need a guide. There, for sure, you need a guide. There is spectacular. If you have the time, please visit also the Delta of the Danube. Remember that at the seaside, it is not allowed to go in a motorcycle on the sand. So please respect these rules, otherwise you will be fined by the police. In order to orientate yourself in Romania, you can use whatever device that you like. For example, the telephone or the GPS or the paper map. For example, I use the iPhone with the application called Gaia. Right there I can find a lot of maps and download them and input my track, and it's working just fine. There is another site that I recommend to you to take a look because they have up-to-date maps from all the countries in Europe. It is called freizekarte-osm.de. It is free. You can download your map for the Garmin or for any Android or iOS device that has a map and a routing possibility. We are very hospitable people. You will have a great time here riding in Romania. Ask your motorcycle community, watch YouTube videos about Romania, come here and enjoy life. It's a cheap country in relation with the rest of the Europe. For the moment, we are allowed to go with a motorcycle everywhere we want off-road, so we need to keep this by respecting the nature and respecting the rules. Just have a great time here in Romania, and this video was dedicated for Nomad Sweden and for Matthias Eriksson. Guys, I'm waiting for you here. Just come already. We will have a great time. Ride safe. The season has started. Use your gear and go slowly until you go into your pace. And until next time, Dragoș from Romania Dual Sport salutes you. Ciao.